Hello, friends. Thank you all for being here again for another episode of the Good News Network. I am Michael Reynolds, and this is my brother, good friend, and buddy, Chris White. What's
Hello.
happening, Chris?
Hey, it's a beautiful afternoon and I'm thankful for the rain and man, the air smells so good.
Yep, nice to get
Yeah.
that fresh, clean air feeling after
Yeah.
good rain.
Yep.
Yep, cool. Well, we really appreciate you all joining. We have a great conversation we're going to have today with folks from Food for Thought. And just as a reminder, if maybe this is your first time or you haven't been around for a while, we started this because Chris and I, in multiple conversations, we're talking about a lot of good things that we saw happening in our community around us, good work that was happening. And yet we didn't really hear it anywhere else other than our conversations. And so we were kind of
Mhm.
curious about that and decided that we could do something about that and provide a platform where folks could share about what they're doing and that others could hear about it and find a way to get connected in that in whatever way, whether they want to participate or support. So really grateful that you joined us.
Absolutely. And we're as a secondary kind of focus, we're hopeful that the people that we talk to, they themselves get a chance to connect with each other, and kind of pool resources when it's appropriate. And we believe in synergy and what it means to our community. So that's
Yeah,
part of the story as well.
yeah, great point. All right. Well, as always, we want to start with kind of what's good been going on in our own lives. So, Chris, what's a highlight for you recently?
Well, if you'll indulge me, brother, I've got two quick things.
All right.
First, I was listening to some music this morning, and it just encouraged me. There's an artist, a songwriter and singer named Corey Ashbury, and he writes a song called "Reckless Love." And
Mm-hmm.
it hit me at a moment where I really needed maybe just a little bit of extra encouragement, and so
Mm-hmm.
I just appreciate his powerful voice and message and how it reflects his relationship with Jesus. And the second thing I have to be thankful for is one of my favorite comfort foods, brother, is tomato tomato soup and toasted cheese. I just love
Mm.
those two things. And when I got home a little bit late last night, boy, wouldn't you know that was what was for dinner. I was so
Oh
thankful.
man,
I was
that was a
so
happy Chris
thankful.
moment.
Oh man, I'll tell you, delicious.
That's awesome. As soon as you said that, I went right back to Wednesday nights in my childhood. It was always grilled cheese and either homemade potato soup or tomato soup.
Yeah.
Because we always went to a meeting on Wednesday nights as a family, and
Hmm.
yeah, that was a quick
That's
and delicious meal. So as soon as you said those two things, I was right back there sitting at the counter drinking my tomato soup out of the mug. That's awesome.
that's awesome.
It's so cool
How
how
about you, brother?
food can be so tied to our memories can be so tied to food, right? And it just
That's right.
it's can be really
Yep.
meaningful. So
Yep.
awesome. Cool. Um, well, I will say my highlight, I had the opportunity to attend yesterday. There was a statewide conference for housing providers,
Hmm.
and it happened to be in Santa Rosa, and so I knew several of the folks who were there, and the coolest part about it's always nice to be in a room. I work alongside doing a lot of similar things as people, but it's always nice to have those opportunities to mingle with them, to have
Hmm.
the side conversations, to be able to connect. But the coolest thing was that two people that I used to work with were presenters, and I'd had the opportunity to help mentor both of them. And so to see them come from where they
Hmm.
were, and they're both super talented, super intelligent, very, compassionate, driven people. And so it's no wonder they were there. But there
Right.
were I've been deeming it sort of a proud papa moment of being able to see these two people that I got to work alongside and see them presenting at a statewide conference both on the same day was really really cool,
That's
and the conference
beautiful.
was great. A mutual friend of ours and a friend of the Good News Network, Adam Peacock, was also on the panel presenting, so
Hmm.
that was a cool thing as well. So yeah,
Great.
lots of great connections, and the serotonin was just popping off in my brain after that event from all the good connections with folks. So it was cool.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yep. Yep.
Right.
All right. Well, we are happy to introduce to you our friend Michelle Gleed from Food for Thought in Forestville, California. And there she is, right on cue. I love it.
Perfect. Hi, Michelle.
I can follow instructions.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. Please tell us about yourself, and then we can get into the work that you're doing over there at Food for Thought.
Oh, thank you. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. This is just wonderful. You talking about food memories and mentoring are close to my heart.
Mm.
I'm currently the events manager here at Food for Thought, but for 20 plus years before here, I was a Montessori teacher
Oh,
in Santa
wow.
Rosa.
Hmm.
Yeah, so mentoring not just the children, but the staff has always been something near and dear to my heart. And one of the really fun things about coming here to Food for Thought in the last year and a half has been working with the young people here at Food for Thought and just seeing their spark and their energy,
Hmm.
and also being able to bring some of my, I guess, wisdom, we'll go with wisdom, and
Yes.
experience to them has just been a real joy and something that I'm really grateful for. So it was wonderful to hear both of you sharing your good memories today. So
Yeah.
but here at Food for Thought, I'm the events manager. We here at Food for Thought, we're a nonprofit based in Forestville, but we serve
Mm.
all of Sonoma County.
Cool.
We provide healthy groceries and prepared meals for folks who have serious medical conditions in the county, and we do that free of charge. So a lot of the folks can't get out here to Forestville, so we actually have volunteer delivery drivers
Hmm.
who are delivering the groceries out to them 5 days a week. And we're trying to feed our neighbors in need. We've been doing this here in Sonoma County for over 36 years.
Wow.
Food for Thought was founded during the HIV/AIDS crisis in the late 80s when
Hmm.
folks were kind of coming up from the city and quite frankly choosing our beautiful our beautiful area to actually spend the last parts of their lives. That was when, as you guys probably know, or many people know, where there was a lot of stigma around HIV/AIDS, and a lot of
Hmm.
people weren't treated with a lot of dignity. And a few people in Guerneville got together and said, hey, we need to take care of our neighbors. We need to start feeding them. So that was literally how it started. A few concerned citizens coming together around a kitchen table and saying, let's do something. And now here we
Wow.
are, 30 plus years later, feeding over 300, usually between 300 and 400 people a week.
Hmm.
We're
Wow.
feeding. Um, and about a little over 10 years ago, Food for Thought expanded our mission to not just include HIV folks, but people with all serious medical conditions, which is actually kind of a good thing because HIV is not in the crisis that it was in when Food for Thought first started. So
Hmm.
a little good news there. And folks with HIV are living longer, and folks who are on our HIV program, when we're feeding them, we'll feed them for life. That's one of the really great things that we do here at
Hmm.
Food for Thought. So
Wow.
so we provide groceries and meals, and then of course we need some money to pay for these things.
Hmm.
And so here in the events area, I help to manage and coordinate two large events each year, and our biggest one that encompasses the entire county is coming up on December 4th. Thursday is a Thursday, and it's
Cool.
called Dining Out for Life. And that it actually started as it started over 20 years ago. It was a nationwide effort for folks to come together and help HIV organizations. So we've been participating. This is our 24th year of participating in Dining Out for Life. And what it is local restaurants will pledge a percentage of their daily sales on that day to Food for Thought. And
Hmm.
then in return, we get out the word and try to get as many people packed into that restaurant as possible. It's a
Yeah.
real win-win. It's great for the restaurants to
Yeah.
hopefully meet some new clients and meet new
Right.
patrons, and then of course it's great for Food for Thought because we get the donation at the end of the night. So that's kind of our big event. So that's what I'm working on right now, to just kind of get that money raised, keep the food pantry full, and keep
Hmm.
serving our clients.
That's
Wow.
amazing. And I will say, I actually participated
Yeah,
in
it
the
was kind
event
of
last
maybe a
year.
lot.
No, that's amazing.
Oh, great.
Yeah, last year, I was actually, I had several managers that I worked with, and I'd been wanting to take them out for a meal, and I noticed that that was happening, and so we went to the Sonoma Pizza Company in Forestville, and it worked out well for the restaurants, as you said, because I've been back 3 times since then because the food was so good, and I had never been
Right.
there before, only went there for that event, and yeah, it's amazing, and what a great cause. And I also appreciated that there were representatives there who were, you know, no pressure, just like just making it a jovial atmosphere, and providing information, and
Mm.
really, it was really cool. We all really enjoyed it, and we're appreciative to participate in that. So yeah,
That's so great.
thanks for mentioning that.
That's
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's amazing. You've been doing it. You said 24 years you've been participating in that.
yeah, Dining Out for Life.
Yeah.
This is our 24th year in Sonoma
Yeah.
County. And in fact, that's how I actually learned about Food for Thought as well.
Oh,
About
wow.
20 plus years ago, I just stumbled into a restaurant with my husband, and there was actually a table tent saying, "Come back here for Dining Out for Life." And I thought, What is this thing?" And then
wow.
over the years, we just have sort of made it part of our holiday tradition. We usually
Yeah.
go holiday shopping ahead of time, and then we do Dining Out for Life after. And same thing. I've discovered lots of great restaurants this way. It's been
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's been a really fun thing. Yeah, we have we have actually 69 restaurants that are participating this year.
Wow.
Oh my
So lots
gosh,
of
that's
wonderful,
incredible.
wonderful community support. Talk about gratitude. Right there
Yeah.
is definitely mine. I
Wow.
Yeah, when I became events manager, I wasn't sure would I you know, would it, after being a teacher, I wasn't sure what's it going to be like to go and ask for things, because that's basically my
Mm.
job, is to go and ask for
Yeah.
people to support us. And I cannot tell you how supportive the community is. Just our
Mm.
restaurant community is amazing. And even restaurants that maybe can't participate, they always are gracious and say,
Mhm.
ask next time. But people are just wonderful,
Wow.
anytime I ask. So lots and lots and lots of gratitude, lots of good news going around for sure.
Mhm.
Mm.
That's amazing. Um, I'm also curious, you talked about the meals that you both provide, the groceries and the meal prep.
Yeah,
And you mentioned focusing on healthy meals. So what can you give us kind of an idea of what that food looks like and how that's prepared and how many folks
great
does that
question.
take? And
Yeah, no, that's such a great question. The vast majority of our clients get groceries. They are provided groceries, and then they prepare their own food at home.
uh-huh.
Some people, if they just can't do that for whatever reason, we do have some prepared meals that we can send to them. But we found that the groceries work well, because they'll work with a nutritionist and a dietitian. We also provide recipes and whatnot to help them tailor their groceries to their particular need.
Hmm.
And then and it's not that we just give them bags of groceries; they actually have choice in it. Each week, they talk
Oh,
to one of
cool.
our client service volunteers or one of our staff, and they actually go shopping. They actually fill out a shopping list
Mm,
online, and then that's what we put into their bags that are then delivered to them. And that's
Mm.
about, I think, between 75 and 80% of our clients receive delivery, and the rest
mhm,
of them actually come here to the food bank in Forestville, and they can actually go quote unquote shopping. We have a whole area set up where they can select their own fresh fruits and vegetables, which of course is what we emphasize. We have healthy proteins, lots of staples, healthy staples, whole grain breads, things
mm.
like that, to make sure that they're getting the nutrition that they need. It's not just food, but we
Yeah,
want that good
right.
nutrition for them as they're facing whatever situation that they're dealing with at the time.
Wow, that is beautiful.
Mm.
And I can imagine that, I know you were listening as we were talking. I was talking about the serotonin from in my brain from yesterday, all the
Yeah,
connections, just that extra level of health of them having connection with folks who are either doing the shopping, delivering that they're seeing when they're coming in. And I
Hmm.
can imagine it's quite a
absolutely.
community that's built.
Yeah. Yeah, part of our mission is not, and it's right on our logo too. It's healing with food plus love. That
Hmm.
plus love part is also really important to have that personal connection with people. One of the thrills that I have, and actually, I learned about dining out, or learned about food for thought with Dining Out for Life. But when I started volunteering here, I actually volunteered in the food bank.
Mhm.
And what I
Hmm.
did in there was I filled those orders that people had ordered with our client services that were then going to be delivered. I actually worked on the food or putting those orders together. And I have to say it was a really heartwarming, and also there were times when it really struck me how privileged I am that I
Hmm.
can go to the store and I can buy pretty much whatever I want. I'm pretty lucky that way. And yet here I'm putting groceries into a bag that is going to support this person who's and their families. We also provide food to any dependents of that person in the home.
That's
So
amazing.
just providing
Wow.
that food and knowing that bag of groceries was going out, but also that it was surrounded with love and care,
Right.
that we were selecting those things for that person based on their wants and needs. It really meant a lot to me, and still does mean a lot to me, and why I'm happy to be here at Food for Thought. As being a Montessori teacher, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but Montessori is all about choice. The kids get to choose what they want to do all day long, and so to be able to provide folks who need healthy food with the choice of what they want, so it can be culturally relevant as well as just likes and dislikes. You're talking about tomato soup and
Right.
cheese sandwiches. I mean, that's literally something that our clients could make with the
Mhm.
foods
Right.
that they order from us on a weekly basis. So
Hmm.
yeah, those comfort healthy foods. Yeah,
Wow.
How cool, how awesome.
Wow.
yeah.
So I heard obviously it takes a lot of people to make this happen. What are some of the volunteer opportunities that folks could get connected to?
Oh my gosh, such a great question. So I should also mention we have a garden here as well. We have a beautiful garden that grows
Wow.
thousands of pounds of produce that go to our clients as well each year. And so we have opportunities inside the food bank, preparing the orders. We, of course, buy a lot of our food in bulk, and then it has to be broken down into smaller
Mm-hmm.
portions for folks. So we have that. That's actually what's going on in the food bank today. When I walked
Hmm.
through,
Ah.
there were giant bags of lots of things, pasta, beans.
Wow.
We also feed the dogs and cats in the homes as well. So there were some giant
Awesome.
bags of dog food getting put into smaller bags.
Very good.
Um, so yeah, you have to take care of the whole family, not just
That's
so
right. Yeah.
yeah,
Just
exactly. So
ha
those are some opportunities. Probably the thing that we need the most on a most consistent basis are delivery drivers,
Hmm.
folks who come here to the food bank once a week and then pick up anywhere from 6 to 10 places, 6 to 10 stops, I guess you could say,
Mhm.
and then put all those groceries in their car, and then off they go. We have this really cool app that uh, all of the stops get put into this app, and it starts you farthest away from your home and ends you closest to your home. So we try
Oh,
to make it
Wonderful.
as convenient as possible for
No
dropping
yeah.
off.
kidding.
Yeah, I actually love delivery. I love driving and delivering. Sometimes folks aren't home, or you'll leave it right on their doorstep and let them know it's there. But the vast majority are there, and sometimes we're the only people they see that week, which can
Hmm.
be wonderful for them and for us. And the last time I delivered, a woman answered, and she had just been diagnosed with cancer, and
Thanks.
she was starting her chemo. And I brought the groceries, and she looked in the bag, and she just said she couldn't believe how lucky she was to have this fresh,
Hmm.
wonderful food that she was going to have while she was healing from with her chemo. So
Hmm.
it just it's pretty wonderful. It gives you a warm feeling for sure.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
those are some opportunities, and then of course food drives. We are super lucky to be able to be outside of Oliver's and Safeway on certain days of the month, and we have a very specific list that we send folks in with shoppers in with, so that they can get again, things that we can actually use with our clients.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fun too. I like doing food drives too. The last time I was there, over the day, I was there for a 3 hour shift, and then there were two more shifts after me. And over that day, we collected over $6,000 worth of food,
Holy
which
smokes.
was
Wow.
really amazing. Yeah, really
Wow.
amazing.
Wow.
I mean, I just constantly reminded, and thank you for another reminder of what a generous community we live in, right? There,
Yes.
folks, that's one of the, we talked about why we do this, but that's another reason why is I hear about people, I know people, Chris and I both know people, we hear about people that want to do stuff and they're like, I don't know what to do. But
Right.
so places like Food for Thought that are giving people an opportunity and making it easy, like here's what we need, right? Here's a
Yeah.
list,
Right.
you're going into the store already.
Yep.
It just makes so much more sense, and the proof is that you collected that much food in one day is
It's
amazing, and it's just,
amazing.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, and I always love when families are going in, and oftentimes they'll,
Hmm.
the child will have maybe one of those small carts, and they'll come out with the food for thought food in their small cart,
Oh
to
my
Mm.
put it in.
gosh,
So again, teaching
how
children again that
touching.
we can help take care of each other.
Yeah.
It's really wonderful. Talk about
Wow.
many win-wins there.
Wow.
No
Definitely.
kidding.
And then I want to shout out one more volunteer opportunity
Yes,
too.
please.
Of course, we have events. I have to talk
Mm.
about
We
my own my own thing. Um, I we're so you mentioned when you did Dining Out for Life that a representative came up to you when you were
Yeah.
at some pizza company, and
Yep.
those are who we call our ambassadors, our Food for
Hmm.
Thought ambassadors. So we have over 60 ambassadors who will be at the restaurants this year on December 4th,
Awesome.
talking to folks about food for thought and also sharing our really great, we have as a thank you for people dining out, we have a free drawing. And I have to shout this out as another gratitude. I was hoping for maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 packages that I could put in the drawing. We have 15 packages that,
Wow.
Wow.
so 15 winners, because that's how generous our community is.
Oh my
So
goodness.
yeah, we have a $500 gift certificate from Oliver's. I mean, they're, yeah,
Holy
and
cow.
just all these many different packages. So
Hmm.
yeah, just wonderful. So those ambassadors are volunteers. I have some folks who volunteer just for that event. That's what they do
Hmm.
once a year. They come out, they support as an ambassador, and then I don't see them again until the next year.
Yeah.
Totally fine. And then we have
Yeah.
folks who are our every they're in our food bank every week, and then they kind of do this one special thing as an ambassador, and then they're back in the food bank. So we have everything in between. So it's pretty wonderful.
How
Wow.
beautiful.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah. Good.
Wow.
cool thing.
It's great to be around so many nice people too.
No
For
kidding.
sure.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
that are drawn. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, people that are drawn to this, it's just, it's amazing. So,
Yeah.
Chris,
Yeah.
I know you got questions. I don't want to hog the conversation
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. No, I only have about 14 or 15 questions,
No
so I
problem.
won't, I won't. But seriously, Michelle, one of the common themes that we've been blessed with as being part of the platform to share these stories is the power of relationship. The power of relationship with our neighbors,
Yeah.
with our community.
Yeah.
And it's a common theme that comes through that says we're gonna love our neighbors and we're gonna meet them unconditionally. Whatever their story is, it doesn't matter. You're part of our community and we love you.
Right.
And I was reading this morning, I had the privilege of kind of going through your website, and there's a tab on there that does talk about your story and your vision and your mission. And part of that is also includes these very personal testimonies, a story of Maria. I mean, these are stories that resonate with all of us and empower us and encourage us. So that's a big lead up for my question, which you know, is there a story you can share with us? Without giving names and that kind of thing, but a story that highlights and brings a smile to your heart, a tear to your eye, that kind of thing, that represents the why of why you do this work.
Yeah, that's such a great question. Every day I could come up with a story.
Mm.
So I think most recently, okay, I have a client story and a volunteer story. May I share both?
Sure.
Okay. So the
Absolutely.
client story was I was out and about in the food bank, probably going to grab something for some event. And a gentleman came up to me who probably was in his 30s, and he said, "Do you work here?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "I just want to say thank you." And he
Hmm.
said, 9 months ago, I had open heart surgery. I live by myself, and Food for Thought fed me.
Wow.
So, and I was just, I was a little, I don't often get to see the clients being in events, and so to
Hmm.
have that face to face with him, and he was working for a moving company, so he had obviously healed, and he was out
Wow.
and about. And then he went and got his friend, and he said, "And my friend's going to have surgery soon, so I'm bringing him here so we can get him set up so he doesn't have to be hungry when he gets home from the hospital."
Wow.
So that one-on-one, just personal, that's it. That's why we do what we do. That's why I
Hmm.
do what I do.
Hmm.
Um, the other story I wanted to share with you is we have over 700 volunteers a year that help us,
Holy
which that
smokes.
number alone is mind blowing. But I had the privilege this year, just actually a couple weeks ago, of presenting the Spirit of Food for Thought Award to one of our volunteers. His name's Tim, who moved here to Forestville a while ago. And he volunteers for us by picking up in kind donations. So, mycopia mushrooms, and Whole Foods will sometimes donate. Well, mycopia donates every week, and he goes and picks these things up and brings them back here to the food bank when we
Hmm.
can distribute that. He does that every week, and then he actually bags up the mushrooms and gets them ready. Um, and he
Hmm.
last year he donated over five. He volunteered over 500 hours for the entire year. I mean, it's like having a full-time person and a half in one person,
Yeah.
and he always
Hmm.
does it with a smile on his face. And it just that warms my heart when I walk into the food bank and I see these volunteers working, or I see them in the garden, or I see them at food drives, or I see them at my events or anything, and it just warms my heart that people are there for food for thought, for, like you said, for our neighbors. And so I'm pretty lucky, my heart gets warmed almost every day, so I'm pretty lucky that way.
That's that's beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, and you were talking about relationships too. With this event we have coming up on December 4th, we have restaurants that have been participating with us for over 20 years. And we have
Wow.
restaurants who have been participating, over 15, over 10. I mean, these restaurants are in. They are doing it. They are there for us, and we are just so grateful to them. And I,
Hmm.
I hope I hope people will not only support them, like Michael was saying, not just for dining out for life, but all year round, because these
Yeah.
are good people in our community. Yeah,
Yeah.
great
That's
places.
that's a good note. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and that's why I went back there because it not only was the food delicious, but I thought, I mean, if this is who's running this place, if this is their heart to give away what they don't
Hmm.
have to give away,
Right.
in order to support a good organization, like I want to support them, right? So to
Right.
me, it's
Exactly.
it's it's a great way. That's another kind of side benefit of what you do. It highlights other folks in the community who have a heart for that sort of thing, who it's like, yeah, that's where I want my money to go, is to folks who are utilizing it to spread it out to others. So
Hmm.
Exactly.
it felt really nice to be a part of that.
Yeah. Well,
um
and you selected Sonoma Pizza Company. I mean, they donate 50%.
yeah.
The vast majority do 25%, but a few other places do
Wow.
50%. So,
Yeah.
and then we have one that does 100%. So they do
Wow.
all sales for that day. So, yeah,
That's incredible.
it's again, great generosity, great
Hmm.
gratitude. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and as you were talking, and I know this, I'm stealing one of Chris's lines here because he points this out often, but the the benefit of organizations like yours is often seen as, oh, isn't it great for the recipients? And yet,
Oh,
time and
right.
time again, what we're reminded when we talk about volunteers is that,
Yep.
I mean, we see it written all over your face when you're telling these stories, right? And hearing it in your voice and in your tone, that it's the act of serving is one
Mhm.
of the most joyful things we will ever be a part of. And the fact that you
Exactly.
have 700 folks who are doing that each year, participating in that, speaks to, the that reward within itself, but that the fact that they choose food for thought to do it, I mean, obviously they see the benefit and the value, and which is clear of what you're sharing here of why someone would want to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a beautiful mission, and represented in the stories that you've told.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How do folks get connected to your services? How does someone get referred, or what's that process look
Yeah,
like?
great question. Our website is probably the easiest and best way for that to happen, and it's
Mhm.
fftfoodbank.org. So like food for thought, fftfoodbank.org. And right on there, there's a place where if people need food, if they want to volunteer, all of that is right there. Of course, events are on there too. You can check that out. So, and it talks
Hmm.
about all the different restaurants that are participating this year, and so yeah, that's probably the easiest. People can call as well, but I found the website has definitely the easiest way to get connected where you need to get connected. And then people can
Hmm.
always drop by as well. We're open Monday through Friday for folks to drop by. So
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah,
That's
during
great.
regular
So it's just
business hours too.
it could be
Yeah.
just a self-referral service then. They
Yeah,
can
so
reach
when
out
folks
and
come in
yeah.
on their own, we'll talk to them and then we'll get the referral going
Yeah. Yeah.
once they stop by. Yeah, we that but usually it comes the referral will often come first, but sometimes it's the other direction. The
Mhm.
person will call us and then we'll help them get the referral going.
Okay.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Get them hooked up to
Wonderful.
their own dietitian, which is really great. We have dietitians on staff who work with folks and make sure that they're again getting the food that they need to help heal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
Beautiful.
wonderful.
Chris, any additional questions? Any
No, and
thoughts?
I think I keep going back to relationship, but even the part of, you talked about earlier where the clients get to have a conversation every week with people. And the idea that there's dignity in that, there's choice in that,
Yeah.
there is, just acknowledging their presence and their purpose in the relationship. And I just so appreciate that. And are you suggesting that your organization actually works with, let's say, someone who's going through chemotherapy and they need a certain kind of diet?
Mhm.
They're able to discern the diet that's being recommended for them.
Correct,
Okay,
correct. Yeah,
okay.
and our dietitians will work with them on perhaps a certain type of food or a certain nutrient that they may especially
Hmm.
need, and so and certain types of food may be high in that nutrient. So they'll
Right.
kind of steer them in that direction and help with that. And when you talk about relationships, we have some volunteer drivers who have been driving for many years, and they don't want to change their route because they know their people on their route. They want
Okay.
to keep their people. They want to make sure their people, and they do call themselves their people.
Hmm.
They want to make sure
They're
that
folks.
where they're delivering is
Yeah.
those people are okay and that
Hmm.
they're getting what they need. And I think that's just so important. I mean, we talk about the generosity of our community. I think building those relationships in our community are important, and bringing our clients into that community, I think, is also really important. Making them feel part of
Yeah.
that wider community, I think, is what we can also offer.
Hmm.
We had a big gala in June, and we had some of our clients there. And I think that was the one thing that they talked about when they were there was just that feeling of being accepted and being welcome and kind of feeling like a rock star when they were there at the gala.
Hmm.
So I think that's really important too. Yeah.
That's absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome.
Wow. Is there any other good news you want to share with us, boy? Even on a personal level, or, I mean, we're not going to get too personal, but just to appreciate life, right? Is there,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you asking me that. When you were talking about music when we first started, had the privilege of going to the city this week and seeing David Byrne in concert,
Hmm.
who, music for me is, really, I don't know, this type of work is a lot of work, as I'm
Hmm.
sure you can imagine. And I think for those of us in the nonprofit world and certainly taking care of folks, it's good for us to take care of ourselves too. So I feel like being able to go out and the city with my honey and have a good time and
Nice.
hear some great music. I think that kind of recharged me, even moving into, the one of the biggest events I'm putting on for the year. And so
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
energized for that. So I'm grateful for that.
Wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Well, thank you again for showing up and sharing. I mean, particularly at this time with so much going on leading up to this event,
Hmm.
and we obviously highly encourage everyone. I will be going out to support again this year. I haven't just chosen my
Yes.
restaurant yet, but I will be checking the website and figuring out where to go, and hope to see many of our viewers join and be a part of that, and also I mean, so many great opportunities for people to get connected and be involved in many different ways. So there, hope that folks take advantage of that as well. So, thank
Wonderful.
you for your time. Thank you
Mm.
for all the work you're
Yes.
doing in
Thank
the
you so
community.
much.
It is incredibly encouraging and just amazing to hear. Not only I like the way you said it, not just providing, I don't remember exactly, but not just food, but nutrition, and making sure that folks
Yeah.
have what they need in order to take care of themselves and through their healing journey, and again that relationship aspect that's a part of that as well. It's so cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Food, nutrition,
Yeah,
and love. Get it all together in one
there
package.
it is.
There
There
it
it
is.
is. That's
Exactly
awesome.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you
thank
so
Right.
you
much,
so much
Michelle.
for having me. Thank
Yeah.
you.
It's an
Thank you,
absolute
All
Michelle.
right.
pleasure. All right, we'll see you
Bye
soon.
bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
My goodness, Chris, it just every episode is just like I'm just continually overwhelmed with the incredible amount of love in our community. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. I
It's
mean,
you're
all the different
absolutely
ways it
right.
shows up.
To your point, I mean, I think, well, that story can't top next week's story, and not that it necessarily tops, it's not a competition, but the idea that it just, to your point, I always say this, my cup overflows. My cup overflows with joy, and appreciation and understanding that in a world that is sometimes filled with chaos and fear, that there are just so many people that do care about each other and want them to help them, to support them and live their best lives. And certainly Michelle's tone, her hope is infectious. And I hope it encourages our listeners because, like you said, we both were very encouraged by her story.
100%. Yeah. And one of the things that struck me is her talking about this starting at a as a conversation at a table with a handful of folks, and now
Right.
300 to 400 people a year are getting fed. 700 folks are having the opportunity to participate in that and be a part of that. And what came to mind for me at that point, there's a saying that says, "Don't despise small beginnings." Right? You never
Mm,
know where an idea, just a simple conversation, when followed through, you never know where it'll go.
that's
And
right.
that is it's this is an incredible example of that. And now there are people who, I mean, nutrition is so important always, but particularly through a healing journey, to have
That's
folks
right.
who are literally just making that happen for you, as she shared in her stories, that folks just show up and say, here you go,
Amazing.
here's what you need.
Right.
And as you highlighted, to have choice in that, it's not just like, one size fits all, but
That's right.
actual,
That's
what do you need in order to heal? What do you need in order to become, to return to wholeness and well-being? And
and that only can be accomplished through relationship. You
100%.
have to you have to ask the question. You can't assume that your world is their world. And
That's right.
so, so yeah, I mean, that's where it begins. So, well said.
Wonderful. Well, again, December 4th, please check their website, find a restaurant. I mean, you're going to eat something that day, right? Like, who's not going to eat? So make it worthwhile. Spread the love,
That's
support this
right.
organization, and and again, see what other opportunities there are. That and if you happen to see them outside, now you know their name. If you happen to see Michelle or one of her team outside of one of the Olivers or other places they may show up,
Hmm.
grab that
Hmm.
list and be a part of that, because it's you've heard what that is, what that's doing for folks in our community. So
That's right. That's right.
beautiful. What a beautiful story.
Yeah.
What a beautiful organization. And what a beautiful human who came and shared that with us.
Yeah. We're blessed.
Yeah,
We're blessed, brother.
totally.
Mm.
So, speaking of blessed, what's on the
Yeah.
horizon for you, my friend? What are you looking forward to?
Oh, I've got a fun event to share with you.
Uh-oh.
Um, on Sunday, we were rained out last Sunday, but on
Okay.
Sunday, a group of my brothers and sisters will be riding in our annual scooter ride to pick
Woohoo!
up to pick up frozen turkeys to and bring them back to the Redwood Gospel Mission. So a whole group of us are gonna get a gaggle of frozen
Oh
turkeys
my
and
goodness.
tie it to our scooters, and then we're gonna drop them off. And you know what? Just as a small plug, we had the privilege to interview Eric from Redwood Gospel Mission,
Yeah.
and if you haven't had a chance to listen to his story and how he's serving our community, please do. But anyway, that's what I'll be doing Sunday. Looking forward to
That
it.
that is quite a picture. Just think of a bunch of folks riding scooters with frozen turkeys. It sounds like a
It's
traffic
fun.
nightmare to me, but I'm sure y'all got it handled.
Yeah, it's all about the tie down, brother. It's all about the tie down. Make it secure.
There's got to be balance, right? I mean, those things are
That's
heavy.
right.
You can't
That's
be having
true.
them. You gotta
Good,
balance that out.
good point.
How
Uh,
cool.
how about
Well, I'll
you,
tell you.
brother?
Yeah, so a few shows back, you mentioned birthday week for your lovely wife.
Yes, yes.
And so I don't have a whole week of celebration, but I have mentioned on previous shows I've started getting to know a lovely woman up in Willits, and her birthday happens to be tomorrow. And so we had already
Nice.
planned to, she has a couple boys, and we'd already planned to go to the Legion of Honor together.
Hmm.
On Saturday. However, just sort of took hold to where she had some friends who wanted to take her to dinner, and so that's expanded. Now there's 25 people who are going to be celebrating her life, and so I get to be a part of that
Wonderful.
tomorrow.
Beautiful.
I'm really looking forward to both of those things, to sharing dinner with her and her friends and her boys, and then spending some good time. Going to a museum, and it'll be a long ride down and back, so it'll be a lot of great conversations, and just just really being able to celebrate her and her life. I know I've shared with you, she's a high school English teacher, and she
Mm-hmm.
is an amazing person who really shows up and invests in the lives of others. And so to be able to put some focus on her and to celebrate who she is will be a lot of fun.
Mm.
So yeah, really looking
Well,
forward
that's
to that.
beautiful. Oh, please pass on my thanks and congratulations. And I'm
Yeah.
so glad she was born because she's been brought together with you, and it's I know it's a really love supportive relationship. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's good stuff. So,
yep,
yeah, all right. Well, thank you all for joining us once again. We are so grateful for you coming to learn about the good things that are happening in our community. And we highly encourage you to get involved in all of these things, because as we've talked about, it's not only good for those that are being served, but it really is a mental well-being support and
that's right,
physical well-being support and emotional and spiritual, all of that. We all get served when we serve, and so
that's right.
it's a beautiful thing. And so between now and next time, we, as always, we encourage you to keep looking for the good, and my friend Chris will tell us what to do if you're not able to find some.
I tell you, I always think about you, and if I can't find any, but I know what I'll do is I'll go out there and make some good.
That sounds
So
like a
I
brilliant plan.
I encourage our guests to go make some good today. So, all right,
Wonderful. Awesome.
all
Thank
right.
you all. Great to see you all. We will see you next
Thank
time.
you. All right. Bye bye.